if they can get some penetration in the very interior, they can do okay. If not, if that first handoff or whatever opens up and gets some yardage, they could be in for a long night.
In your opinion, do you think this is going to be an offensive battle or a defensive showdown?
Shelby hadn't been in too many offensive battles. We might not quite know what that is.
Okay.
You know, down there, if you have a 17-14 game, you're going. They're really lighting it up tonight.
That's
you know,
right. Okay.
So if it is a high-scoring game, then it's certainly the Tarboro's advantage.
Okay. Well, Alan, we appreciate your taking time out to be with us tonight, and hopefully we'll see you at halftime.
All right, thank you. I enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot. We've been talking with Alan Ford of the Shelby Star, getting his insights on tonight's 2A state championship game between Tarboro and Shelby. We'll be back in just a moment, talk about the starting lineups and the keys to tonight's game right after this 2-minute timeout on the State Championship Radio Network.
Move that body. Move that body. Move that body. Move that body. Move that body.
Gatorade.
Move that body.
Is it in you?
Move that body.
Life is a sport.
Move that body.
Drink it up.
Move that body.
This is Wendy's.
Do you have the new steakhouse bacon cheeseburger?
Yes, sir.
With fresh beef?
A full quarter pound.
What else?
A natural blend of Swiss and cheddar.
Hey, how about sauteed onions? You know, it can't be a steakhouse cheeseburger without sauteed onions.
It's got 'em in a savory steak sauce.
Come and try Wendy's new Steakhouse Bacon Cheeseburger for rich, satisfying steakhouse taste in every bite.
Hey, sounds delicious, but will I need a sport coat?
No, sir.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Do you have valet parking?
I dare you to go wild in your backyard. Go ahead, nobody's watching. Paint your thumb green. Make a splash, sprout a new leaf, do whatever you want. Transform that boring backyard into a place where nature grows wild. You want terraces, birds, flowers, trees? It can happen. Get your very own backyard conservation booklet today and go wild. Call 1-888-LAND-CARE for a free copy. The booklet and this message are from USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Welcome back to Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. Eddie Thomas here along with Darrell Green and Robert Flanagan. We're about ready for tonight's kickoff. And Robert and Darrell, it's all yours. Tell us about what we should expect.
Well, this should be a very exciting game. This might be the most evenly matched of all the finals we will see here this weekend. And Darrell, there are pregame rituals, and then there are pregame rituals. The Golden Lions of Shelby, Darrell, they made a big human pile, and everybody did their best to kind of vault on top, and I guess whatever it takes to get your juices flowing.
I guess I want to decide. I want to know who decides who goes on the bottom.
Probably your freshmen.
Your freshmen, absolutely.
Freshmen and sophomores. Tarboro, on the other hand, they ran out through the smoke provided by a fire extinguisher, which kind of gave the dry ice effect. Tarboro will be wearing their purple jerseys, white pants, and their helmets virtually replicas of the Minnesota Vikings. And if they play anything like the Minnesota Vikings tonight, it could be a one-sided affair. Shelby is acting like they have won the toss. They are wearing white jerseys with black lettering, black pants, and golden helmets, which go right along with their mascot, the Golden Lions. Both teams this year have 12 victories. Tarboro with 3 losses, 4-1 co-champs in the Eastern Plains Conference, and Shelby undefeated in the Southern Piedmont, a 1A, 2A split conference. Last year, of course, they were back here losing to Clinton 30-14 in the final. It will be Tarboro receiving the kick, and a man you're going to hear a lot about this evening will receive it, and his name is Derek Black. On the year, he has been absolutely phenomenal. He has 1,689 yards, and you say, wow, that's a lot, but he's going to be outdone by his fullback running mate, T.J. McGuire, who has 1,933. Robert Singletary to my left will let me know if and when T.J. McGuire goes over the 2,000-yard mark. Kicking it off for Shelby will be Eric Rockhold. It is a split back there. There is also another gentleman back to receive the kick, but more than likely it will be Derek Black. If not, it may fall into the arms of Travis Heath. The kick is fielded by an up man at about the 15-yard line across the 20. Ball in the air, and Shelby has it. Oh my goodness, big play on the first play, Darrell Green.
That's one of the things we didn't talk about very much in the pregame, was that the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win this football game, and Tarboro on the kickoff return, the receiver took a tremendous hit and fumbled the football in the air and was recovered by Shelby.
Looked like it was Vontrail Johnson who received it, an up back. He was hit hard and the ball literally sprung straight up into the air. Shelby got it, and they will now have 1st and 10 at the Tarboro 31-yard line. It is a wing-bone offense led by Jarvis Harris, the senior quarterback, under center. Hands off to the fullback, Roseboro off the left-hand side. Big gainer almost down to the 20-yard line where he's wrapped up. This offense will consist of Antoine Hamilton as your wingback. Your fullback, as I said, is Roseboro. Jarvis Harris leads the attack. He is pretty special. He rushed for over 704 yards on the year and threw for 651. Your slot back is Anthony Harris. The ball is officially spotted at the 21-yard line. The offensive line led by 2 tight ends, Hal Alexander and Cal Pass. Tackles are Craig Page and Marvin Williams. Your guards are Ashley Smith and Brody Taylor. And your center is Paul McMurray, the lone all-conference player on this team. On this offense, I should say. There was a penalty on the play, and that has moved the ball for Shelby up to the 11-yard line. And we'll get some clarification on what the infraction was. 1st down and 10, handoff to Roseboro, was a face mask, I am told. A gain of 1 up the middle, stacked up on the defensive front by Big Al Williams, 121 tackles. He is one of the middle linebackers, along with Isaac Morey and Darrell Green. Right now, things couldn't be any better for Shelby.
No, they got off with a bang, literally recovering the kickoff return. Now down on the 11-yard line after a penalty was assessed after their first play, which was a big gainer, about 15 yards.
11:07 left to go in the first quarter. 2nd down and 9. Swinging out to the wing back. He goes over the right-hand side all the way to the 5-yard line where he is wrapped up and brought down. Coming up is Travis Heath. Yes, he is the quarterback, and he's also the starting free safety, along with Alonza Exum, who is the strong safety. Derek Black is one quarterback, and Vontrail Johnson is the other cornerback. It is a 5-2 defensive front. Matt Taylor, Gerald Perry, Cedric Petaway, Javon Howell, and Joe Suter.
And we talked about the blocking scheme for that wing bone, and they try to defend the ends, block the end and the linebacker on that wing bone and get out there on the corners and free up on the free safety as well.
3rd down and 5, the ball positioned at the 5-yard line. Hand off to Roseboro up front, flag on the play. He is stopped for no gain, pushed back all the way to about the 7-yard line, but forward progress should go for about a no gainer. And we'll have to see. It is holding on the offense, make it a legal shift. So that will push it back, nonetheless, Shelby. And let's hear from our referee, Toby Thorpe.
The offense, penalty is refused, 4th down.
Penalty was refused. That'll make it 4th down and about 4. They needed to get inside the 1 for the 1st down, so that'll bring on the kicker, Eric Rockhold, who is 9 of 15 on the year. He has a 50-yarder. Darrell, we watched him in practice. He looked pretty strong.
He looked real strong. He was nailing them from about 45, 50 yards out doing pregame. And that was the other thing, too. Tarboro did not come out and take the field for warm-up tonight. I want to know where they warmed up at tonight.
Paul McMurray is the snapper. Patrick Tiernan, who is the backup quarterback, is the holder. The snap is high, the set is down, and the kick is no good. Missed it to the right. Late call, and it is ruled no good. Off to the right. Maybe a little opening jitters.
Maybe so, but I tell you what, Tarboro has just dodged a bullet right now. They're going to take control of the football down on the 20-yard line after the missed kick. And they just dodged a big bullet by having Shelby not score at all after a fumble recovery.
High school rules on a missed field goal brings it all the way out to the 20-yard line. 9:53 left to go in the first quarter. No score, and if you're just joining us, 2 offensive powers meeting on the field tonight. And the Vikings get their first chance on offense as they fumbled the opening kickoff. Travis Heath hands it off up the middle. stacked up by the Shelby defense, which is exceptionally quick. Heath leads the offense along with Derek Black, TJ McGuire, and Daryl Cooper. Alonzo Exum is one tight end along with Matt Taylor. The offensive line is a stud fest. Gerald Perry, Ken Brown, Al Williams, Antoine Darden, and Isaac Mooring. That is big and beefy, 6'2", 248 pounds, and they can flat out move on out. Second down and 11, loss of 1. Triple backfield, fake, handoff to the near side. Brought down, no gain, maybe a loss of 2. As Black tried to bring it out to the near side, and he is stacked up, met quickly. Eric White in on the tackle along with Jason McCleaver, excuse me.
Well, Coach Norman talked about reading and making reads tonight in order to stop this multi offense. So far, the linebackers are doing their job, and the defensive line is doing a good job of getting penetration and stopping that multi offense with all the different fakes that are going on back there in the backfield.
It is a very quick defensive front led by C.J. Petty and Taiwan Kanzler. Also Alex Kanzler, his cousin, very quick. Third down and about 12. They hand it off to the far side, maybe a gain of 3 on the play. Coming up to make the tackle, Mario Camp, the outside linebacker. It'll be 4th down and punting for the Vikings.
Again, this time Tarboro ran the ball over to the wing back that time after the second fake, and he was unable to make the first down, and it is 4th down and time to punt.
Gain of 3 makes it 4th and 5. Heath will be back to punt. All-state punter last year. Off the end of his foot, out of bounds at about the 48-yard line, not his best effort.
No, it was kind of shanked it off the left side of his foot there, and Shelby's going to get good field position right now after that bad punt.
Travis Heath, he was voted All-State preseason as a punter, and that has a lot to do with his 42-yard average last year. And this year it was just this game, I should say, his first effort, just a 19-yard effort. So, here we go again. Shelby showed that they do have a very good offense. They stalled at the 5 and settled for a field goal attempt that was wide right. And let's see what they do this time. Harris under center. Roseboro is his lone back. He hands it to him. No, fakes it, pitches it out to the near side. Across the 40, down to the 35. It's a foot race. Down the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Shelby. Anthony Harris goes the distance on the first play from scrimmage. On their second possession, a 45-yard jaunt, and Shelby's out in front, 6-0.
When we talk about blocking the wing-blown offense, they did an excellent job. You're talking about picture perfect. The wingback came out and blocked the linebacker. The offensive end blocked the defensive end, and it was just a matter of optioning off the cornerback, and did a great job of getting the ball out to the wingback for the touchdown.
7:53 left to go in the first quarter, and Shelby's offense has drawn first blood. 6-0. The extra point is up, and it is good. 7-0 is our score. 7:53 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this local timeout on the Championship Radio Network.
The USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service says a growing number of Americans are bringing the knowledge and experience of our nation's farmers to their own backyard with surprising results.
I've grown very fond of the birds that come to my feeder.
The flowers I grow give me pleasure both outside and indoors.
Growing vegetables with the mulch I've made is healthy for my family.
Our home has grown in value because of our landscaping improvements.
Backyard conservation. It'll grow on you. For a free booklet, call 1-888-LAND-CARE.
7:53 left to go in the first quarter. Shelby has kicked off. Derek Black returning it to about the 18-yard line where he is swarmed under. You're listening to tonight's game on great affiliates like WSTK in Jacksonville. And Darrell Green, Shelby's offense right now, it's all one-sided. Shelby, the Golden Lions, with 61 total yards. Tarboro with just 7.
You're right. Right now, Shelby looks like they're the team that's more fired up, like that experience is coming into play right now. They've been here 2 times in a row, back-to-back here at Kenan Stadium, and they're playing just that way right now.
They are 2-2 in the finals throughout their history. They beat Havelock back in 1986, 9-6, and Burlington Williams in 1987, 19-0. So Tarboro gets their hands on the football one more time. The ball positioned at the 19-yard line, moving from left to right in front of our broadcast position. Handoff to the up back. And a gain out to about the 29-yard line. This offense is unbelievably deceptive. TJ McGuire on the carry, close to the first down, needed to get almost to the 30-yard line for the first down, and he does indeed have it. Daryl, I'm having a hard time following the football. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a linebacker down there on the field.
You're right. I'm having the same problem that you're having, and much like Coach Norman said he had with the headache, we've got an injury down on the field, but I'm also having a hard time keeping up with where the football is on the field. The quarterback turns around, and his back is completely to the defense, and he's actually faking the ball to different running backs in the backfield, and decides on which one to give it to. And they either hit the whole left or right or outside. It just depends on where the opening is. And it's a very deceptive offense and very hard to defend.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Mike Winhart. Mike, we have an injury. Who is it?
I can't get a number. Sorry about that. He's lying on his back, and I'm not in a position to see the number. I wanted to talk about the deception. I am right here about 20 yards from the ball, and Robert and Daryl, as you talk about, the quarterback is shifty, and you wonder how the linebackers can tell who has the ball. I sure can't tell, and I don't see how you can tell up in the booth. And that's going to make a long night for the Shelby defense.
We'll have to wait and see, Mike. Good point made, and we'll get that number to the fans as soon as we can. But the great thing about what Travis Heath does is he sells the fakes 100%. It's not half-hearted as to who might be getting it or who's going to get it. Every guy looks like they're going to get the football.
And that takes a lot of practice. I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, he keeps that ball right in the middle of his stomach, and he's not putting it out there so the defense gets a look at where the ball is. He does the same thing the same way every time, and that's what makes this offense so deceptive.
Mike Winhart?
That's an offensive tackle, Isaac Mooring, down on the ground. And it looks like it's either a knee or an ankle, but they're working on the lower leg.
That could be an absolutely huge injury for Tarboro. Isaac Mooring, Mike, not only is he an offensive lineman, but he is all-conference, possibly all-state at middle linebacker, has verbally committed to UNC, leads the team in tackles with 145 on the year, and the way Shelby has been moving the ball, maybe the last guy you wanted to see come out of your defensive front.
Especially with the way he plays linebacker, that is a big blow to Tarboro, but I'm sure they're a very talented football team, and they've got someone else that's going to have to come off the bench right now and step up and play for Isaac Mooring.
Well, Mike Schott is in just his second year as a head coach for Tarboro after being a head coach at a small school in Ohio. We'll see what he can come up with. The ball is back in play. They hand it off up the middle. Shelby is there meeting McGuire head up. Maybe a half-yard gain on the play, and that'll set up second down and 10. And as soon as we can get an further update on the injury to Isaac Mooring, we will pass that along down the line.
Well, so far, Shelby's done a good job of actually defending this multiple-T offense, and the linebackers, I don't know what their keys are. I'm trying to find out what they're reading and what they're doing. Maybe it's something that the line's doing that they're keying off of, or where the ball's going to go, and that's what I'm trying to pick up on for you, Robert.
Second down, 9.5. Handoff to Black. He is met immediately in the backfield. He was lined up as the right halfback, and now he is wincing and rolling on the ground. Shelby, one by one, is taking away some of Tarboro's better weapons. And it was actually a loss on the play of about 2 yards, so it'll now be third down and 11. And it is indeed third tackle on the day, or on the evening for Cedric Pettaway. He has been in the backfield for most of the ball game, but it indeed is just a big play once again by the Shelby offense.
Again, right now they're taking out their players one by one. They just took out Isaac Mooring, and now Derek Black is laying on the field, and he's actually on his feet right now. But they're taking out some of their key players on offense and on defense. So it's going to be interesting to see now how Tarboro will come back and who they're going to replace him with.
Mike Winhart.
Down on the Tarboro sideline, Isaac Mooring has ice on his left knee. It doesn't look good. They're working on the ligaments, and he's in obvious pain as he's laying down with his back on the bench. The field is kind of wet. It's a very soft field, but I think the dew is falling, making for an awful slippery field, and a lot of times you're going to see the knee or the ankle injury on a night like tonight.
And both these teams like to use a very deceptive style of offense, a lot of shifting and gyrations going on down on the field. Triple back set for Tarboro. Handed off to the back. Now the quarterback will pull it back, and he is swarmed under. Travis Heath will be brought down in a heap at the 20-yard line. There to make the play once again, Mario Camp. He is having a whale of a ball game. That is his second tackle for a loss early in this ball game.
And Mario Camp coming from his outside linebacker spot had a blitz on that time, and as Travis Heath was rolling out to his right, Mario was able to come up from behind and break the tackle for a loss on the pass play.
Antoine Hamilton back to receive the punt. It literally goes straight up in the air off the foot of Heath. He is having a nightmare of a ball game. Back there to punt. This one might be negative yardage. A minus 5-yard punt, and you combine that with his last affair, which was just 19 yards. Not what you want from a preseason All-State punter.
No, it's not, and I'm still wondering where Tarboro was doing pregame. Shelby was out on the field about 45 minutes warming up, getting used to the field, and Tarboro never took the field. And that's kind of evident right now that maybe they're still kind of cold and not loosened up as well.
Shelby doesn't even go to a huddle. They want to try to maybe drive another stake into the chest of Tarboro. First down, handoff up the middle, stacked up, no gain. They give it to the up back, Travis Roseboro. He's met immediately at the line of scrimmage, there to make the tackle for Tarboro, among other people, Javon Howell, who comes up from his defensive tackle position. He has 112 tackles on the year coming into this ball game. Tarboro, of their front six, the lowest tackle total is Gerald Perry at 101. So these guys can get to the football and close it once they get there. Second down and about 10 and a half. Handoff to the far side to Hamilton. He'll turn the corner, get inside the 10-yard line where he is knocked out of bounds. Close to the first down, maybe another yard and a half to go. Needs to get down almost to the 7.
Hamilton's only a sophomore at 5'3", 140 pounds. You're talking about shifty and extremely quick. I'll tell you what, he got around that right end extremely fast and had one man to beat before he was pushed out of bounds before going into the end zone.
Hamilton 651 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, averaging right around 50 yards per game coming into tonight's affair. 5:07 left to go in the first quarter, and once again, the Golden Lions are knocking on the door. Ball positioned at the 9-yard line. They need 2 yards on third down for the first down. Hand it off up the middle. He will have the first down. Roseboro lowers his head and pounds his way almost to the 5, make it to the 4-yard line. First down and goal from the 4 for Shelby.
That's one thing about this wing bone offense. You got to respect every ball carrier because they also use a number of fakes and using the triple option out of that wing bone, faking to the fullback, optioning off the tackle, and then going outside, optioning off either the defensive end or the cornerback on the pitch out of that wing bone offense.
Shelby outscoring their opponents 41-13 in the first quarter in the 1998 North Carolina High School playoffs. Wing set in motion. Quarterback's going to roll it out. Harris going for the corner. He is in there. Touchdown Shelby. It's 13-0.
Great blocking that time by the left side of the line of Shelby. They just hammered everybody on the line of scrimmage and sealed off the right side of the defensive line and defense of Tarboro that time, and he cleared the end zone untouched.
Mike Winhard, that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Another touchdown around the left side. The first one went that way too. I noticed on the first drive, Tarboro's got their corner isolated out there, and the back almost broke it the first time, but he cut back to the middle. That's twice they've gone outside.
Eric Rockhold's extra point is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 13-0, make it 14-0. Golden Lions out in front of the Vikings of Tarboro. 4:34 left to go on the Championship Radio Network. Be right back right after this network timeout.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA sport. No matter what the sport, they're working hard to create and maintain a wholesome athletic environment at all events. Sportsmanship is a top priority and a vital part of high school athletics. That's part of what they do at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, inspiring individuals, encouraging excellence.
Move that body. Move that body. Move that body. drink it up. Move that body.
A minus 5-yard punt by Tarboro gave Shelby the ball in scoring position, and they did just that. 14-0 is our score as the kick is underway. Fielded at the 5-yard line by Kelvin Jones. Up the middle he comes, flips over the top, and comes down at the 25-yard line. And Darryl Green, the Golden Lions are popping right now.
They're fired up. They're going on all cylinders right now. Up 14 points early in the first quarter. Who would ever thought with these two most powerful offenses I've ever seen on 2A, Tarboro down 14 points this early in the ball game? I never would have believed it.
I think you can look at one thing right now, and that'll tell you what the score is. Shelby's offense, 77 yards. Tarboro's 9. First down and 10 for the Vikings once again. Shelby's best offense has been their defense. Moving from left to right, the ball is at the 27-yard line. Handoff over the left-hand side, brought down for a loss. Once again, meeting at the running back. C.J. Petty is there, and he's an all-star.
Right now, Tarboro just doesn't look as sharp as they've been in the past right now, and Shelby's defense is really getting good penetration, and that's the one thing I thought that could disrupt this offense, is that the defensive line of Shelby getting in the backfield and disrupting that multiple T offense.
Watch the two guys on the left-hand side of the defensive line, Atlas Kanzler and his cousin Taiwan. They are pretty special. Triple back set is in an I, so to speak, as Heath is under center. Fakes, hands it off up the middle. The fullback, McGuire, carries it across the 30. Gain of 4 or 5 on the play as he is brought down by the shoelaces. There to make the tackle once again, Mario Camp.
Mario Camp is having a well of a ball game. We're still early in the first quarter, and he's already got, 4, 5, 6 tackles right about now, and 2 of them for losses in the backfield. This game isn't over with yet. Tarboro's got a lot of fire in them, and I'm still yet waiting to see them break something open here.
566 yards rushing last week. They're still looking for their first first down tonight. Triple back set. Handoff to McGuire. He will be brought down short of the first down. Needed to get to the 40 or the 37 rather. And he is well short. Gain of maybe 1 on the play. So it'll once again be what has been a circus act early on, a punting situation for Tarboro.
Well, special teams play is a big factor in any football game, but even more so tonight because the 2 punts they've had have put Shelby in great field position. They've taken advantage of it and gone into the end zone.
5 rushes for Tarboro for no gain. Good punt by Heath. Bounces at the 39 or make it the 40, and inside the 35-yard line is where it will be down. Hamilton was back to receive it, but he got out of the way wisely, as once the ball made contact with the turf, he didn't want to be anywhere near it.
This is the worst field position that Shelby's had here in the first half, and we'll see now how that offense will react and how it would run against this Tarboro defense in a different type of field setting.
2:31 left to go in the first quarter. Shelby leads it 14-0 as they will operate at the 36-yard line, moving right to left. The wing bone set, give off to Hamilton. He'll come to the near side, to the outside, across the 50, 45. Big gainer once again for Shelby. And they are just sealing off that left-hand side, Darryl. Nobody's able to make a play.
You're right. That's exactly what they're doing. Again, the wing back and the offensive end are doing a great job of sealing the defensive end and the outside linebacker for Tarboro. And then it's just the free safety and the cornerback who's got to come on clear across the field and make that tackle as they option on the cornerback out there in that wing back offense, wing bone offense.
24-yard gain for the slot back, Anthony Harris. Pushing it all the way across the 50 to the Tarboro 47-yard line. So for one play, Shelby was on their side of the field. Handoff to Roseboro up the middle. He bounces it out to the outside across the 40 down to the 35-yard line, where he is brought down by a host of tacklers, including Matt Taylor.
Good penetration that time by Gerald Perry. Almost tackled the running back in the backfield, but he was able to avoid that tackle and still go up the field for about an 8-yard gain.
Shelby uses a shuttle system to get their plays in and out. Bringing the play in is Chad Davis. Chad will line up as the wideout to the far side. Believe it or not, he may be the lone receiver in this ball game. Handed off to the wing back, cutting it up to the outside is Hamilton. Hamilton breaks the tackle. He's across the 30 down to the 25-yard line, where he is brought down from behind, making possibly a touchdown-saving tackle is Travis Cherry.
Hamilton did a good job that time. Tarboro tried to stretch out that play, but he cut it back inside and actually ran behind the defenders and avoided tackles, going up the field for another first down for Shelby. Just an outstanding run that time by Antoine Hamilton.
Boy, sometimes you just never can tell. An offensive line of 5'11", 217 is really opening the holes. We'll take a timeout. 1:17 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a local timeout. Shelby leads it 14-0 in the 2A state finals on the Championship Radio Network.
With Special Olympics, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you train for the game. It's year-round training, day after day, that helps athletes with mental retardation or closely related developmental disabilities build self-confidence and live better lives. With Special Olympics, there's no off-season. So if you'd like to get involved right now, right here in your own community, call North Carolina Special Olympics at 1-800-843-6276. Special Olympics, it's training for life.
First down and 10 for Shelby. Eric White takes it up the middle. He will score. 20-0, Shelby out in front. Unbelievable. The total yardage now 141-14, and the scoreboard reflects it. Darrell Green, 20-0, the Golden Lions in front.
That was such a quick play. Straight pop to the fullback right up the middle of the field. And he went through untouched and outran the free safety into the end zone. I tell you what, Shelby is on fire right now, and Tarboro is just, they are decimated right now. I don't know what they're thinking, and but they've got to be upset that they're down 21 points right here in the first quarter. It's only 1 minute left to go.
Extra point is good. We'll take a timeout. A network timeout. 21-0 is the score. Golden Lions out in front of the Tarboro Vikings.
Wendy's. People were casting for the perfect announcer for Wendy's hamburgers.
Wendy's quarter-pound single and half-pound double with cheese are made
cut
like super really fresh when you order them.
Next.
so they're always so hot.
And juicy. Sorry.
Well, dang me, Wendy's quarter-pound.
Cut. You in the red tie, you're next.
Wendy's quarter-pound single and half-pound double with cheese are made fresh when you order them, so they're always hot and juicy.
Oh, I love it.
Wendy's, we do it Dave's way.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA sport. No matter what the sport, they're working hard to create and maintain a wholesome athletic environment at all events. Sportsmanship is a top priority and a vital part of high school athletics. That's part of what they do at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, inspiring individuals, encouraging excellence.
Tarboro receives the kick at the 10-yard line, bringing it up to the 20, 25, brought down from behind at the 30-yard line. TJ McGuire is brought down on the play. Stations, we're going to pause 10 seconds. 10-second stations for station identification on the Championship Radio Network.
Yards on the return. First and 10 for the Vikings at the 28-yard line.
$21-0 is our score. It has been all Golden Lions of Shelby as they are back for their second year in a row and making the most of their frequent travel miles to Chapel Hill this time around. As Tarboro has the ball, handoff to McGuire up the middle. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. Once again, coming up from his linebacking position, Mario Camp and Jason McCleve on the play.
That time Tarboro came out in a wing-bone set of their own. That time they came out of the multiple T offense and set up in the offense much like Shelby's been running tonight. I guess they say, well, if it's working for you guys, maybe we should try some of that too.
When you're down 21-0 with the first quarter winding down, who knows? Travis Heath under center. Second down and 6. Ball is at the 31-yard line. The snap, Heath is going to keep it. Cuts it back, brought down and swarmed under. He is just eaten alive by Lions on the play.
Yeah, he went right and everybody else went left, so it was a broken play that time for Tarboro. They're just out of sync right now and down 21 points. You really think they need to get themselves together and get their offense going again.
Mike Winhart?
On that last touchdown, I like what Shelby did. Tarboro called a timeout to regroup on defense. Shelby came out with no huddle, stepped up to the line, didn't even call the signals. The quarterback just nudged the center. He gave him the ball, quick hitter to the fullback, and Eric White took it the distance. They caught Tarboro asleep, and it was Tarboro's timeout coming out of the break. You got to love the play call.
Well, stations, we're going to give you a chance to take a timeout as the first quarter is in the books, and it has been all Golden Lions of Shelby. 21-0 is our score. Local timeout on the Championship Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Dick Van Patten. This year in the United States alone, over 1 million new cases of cancer will be diagnosed. You're probably aware of the link between smoking, lung cancer, and heart disease. But you may not know that smoking can lead to cancers of the kidney, cervix, bladder, pancreas, stomach, and mouth. If you use tobacco products, today is a good day to quit. A health message from your local dental society and the American Dental Association.
The teams have flip-flopped, and the purple-clad Tarboro Vikings are now operating from right to left. It is third down and about 5. Handoff on the counter play to the near side, bouncing it back. First down for Tarboro. That's a seldom seen accomplishment here this evening. Darryl Cooper takes it, and hanging with Mr. Cooper right now might be their best offense.
It's the best play they've run so far, and it's come after the first play here in the second quarter, and that's got to give them some motivation now to get things together for them right now.
We'll have your totals for you officially in the first quarter. Shelby runs it 13 times for 141 yards. Tarboro 12 times for 18 yards. They may have gotten about that in their last carry. In motion, and they pitch it out, tried to get it to Cooper, and Heath is just drilled on the play.
Guess who?
Mario Camp is just having a whale of a ball game. He put helmet and shoulder pads right up against Travis Heath's. Travis lost.
He did lose, and Mario Camp's doing an outstanding job defending that option play, and he's taking the quarterback out and not allowing him to pitch the football. And that's one of the key things that defense for Shelby right now is that they're defending the pitch real well.
Cooper lines up right behind Heath. Black is out to the near side in the slot position. Now he will come in motion. They fake to the fullback. Heath rolls out. He's looking for Black in the flat. He's got him. Black at the 40, brought down behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 3 on the play, and you could tell that was Shelby, something that Shelby had been working on all week. Jason McCleve on the play.
Jason McCleve read it right off the bat, and they defensive tight end down the field. Travis was looking up the field for his tight end, but he was covered, and so he went out to his safety valve, and he was covered as well, and he lost about 5 or 6 yards on that play.
Darryl, right now it seems like the bread and butter for Tarboro isn't working, and they're starting to panic maybe a little bit.
Maybe so, and they should just stick with their game plan and keep hammering it out, and stick with the bread and butter. That's what got you here.
Third down and a long 12. Handoff on the end around. Brought down way behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of maybe 5 or 6 on the play. They tried to get it to Cooper, and there to make the tackle once again. Maurice Littlejohn was there along with Russell Forrest, and let's send it down to Mike Winhart.
Speaking of the bread and butter, I think right now Tarboro's problem, they're trying to make too many options. They've run a couple quick fullback shots up the middle that have been effective, but I think there's just too many options, and Travis Heath, you can look in his eyes, he's a little bit confused where to go with the ball.
Back to punt is Heath. End-over-end kick will bounce at the 40, inside the 35, and be down right about the 30-yard line. And that is where Shelby will put it back into offensive mode here this evening. 21-0 is our score. 9:20 left to go in the first half. Darryl, what can Tarboro do right now? Maybe their offense isn't working. Maybe they can get a spark from their defense.
Well, the defense has really got to step it up right now, because right now Shelby's having great success with their offense. They're having no trouble running the football right now, and they haven't been short games. They've all been long runs. And so the defensive end's got to do a better job, and those linebackers got to fight off those blocks and come up and make tackles.
5'10" senior Jarvis Harris under center, hands it off to Travis Roseboro up the middle. Roseboro came into this ball game with 1,659 yards. Darryl Green, this kid last year, after the 4-yard gain, he was a linebacker on the JV team.
What transition, huh?
Unbelievable. What a program.
Talks about the talent and the program and the system that's in place there at Shelby, and that comes from great coaching and having a good coaching staff and a dedicated football team. These young men spend summers, I'm sure, working out and getting in shape and getting ready for just this one day here at Kenan Stadium.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8, the ball at the 32-yard line. Roseboro takes the fake. Now they hand it off to the near side. Pounded down on the play. Hamilton maybe back to the original line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line, loss of 2, setting up 3rd down and 10.
It's the first time that Tarboro's actually, the defensive end and the cornerbacks have actually stayed at home and came up and defensed the play. It's the best defensive play I've seen so far tonight by Tarboro on the Wingbone offense.
Tarboro definitely has some talent on the defense. Matt Taylor, Gerald Perry, along with Al Williams. Pretty much all conference. Gerald Perry ranked as one of the best offense and defensive linemen in the state as just a junior. Runs a 5.4 40 at 320 pounds. 3rd down and 10. Harris back to pass. Down the near sideline. Caught! What a great catch by Hal Alexander. Oh my goodness. Black was there. He tipped it up in the air, and Alexander came down with it at the 30-yard line. Oh my golly.
Yeah, Alonzo Exum and Derek Black were back on the defense, and Exum went up for the interception and missed it. And the receiver was able to come down with the football. What a catch, what a throw. Also by Jarvis Harris on the play.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have some guests, including Alan Ford of the Shelby Star and Q Tucker, Assistant Executive Director of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. If you're an NC State women's basketball fan, you might know her for her work with one of the true gentlemen of broadcasting in this area, Mr. Reese Edwards. So Shelby all the way down to the 30. On 1st down, they get 3, so it'll set up 2nd down and about 7. The play shuttled in from the near sideline, splitting it out to the far side is Chad Davis. Lone back in the backfield is Roseboro. They fake to him and give it off to Hamilton. Hamilton swings it, cuts it back across the 30 where he is pounded in purple. Over there to make the tackle, James Jones comes over from his defensive end position.
That time, Robert, I counted, Antoine made 5 people miss after he received the football. 5 people on defense for Tarboro missed the tackle, and he only gained about 4 or 5 yards. But that's the ability of this young man back there in the backfield, how elusive he is when he gets the football.
It's one of the joys of high school football, Darryl. 5'3", 140 pounds. There's really no way he's going to go on to the next level, but he can really make something happen here tonight.
Yeah, he can.
3rd down and about 5. Handed off straight up the middle, pounding his way down close to the 15-yard line is Eric White, and he has filled in very well for Roseboro. They're going to mark it back to the 20. And that is where it will be a 1st down for Shelby, so their offense continues to move the ball. This is really almost the opposite of what we thought we might see here this evening.
It's definitely the opposite for me. I'm still stunned about the how this game is going so far. I thought we would have a much potent offense coming from Tarboro as well, and maybe a little better defense out of Tarboro tonight.
Shelby played 6 playoff teams this year, so they are tested and ready. Handoff up the middle, ball in the turf, Tarboro has it. White had it, let it get out of his hands, and that might be the first big break of the ball game for Tarboro. 1st down and 10 for them, now moving the opposite direction at the 16-yard line.
Well, Tarboro started off this game with the fumble on the kickoff return team, and now Shelby's, after they've gone up 21 points, make their first mistake on a fumble. This could be Tarboro's break to try to get themselves back in the game if they can get their offense moving up the field.
Sophomore Eric White maybe showed a little bit of nerves there. Just his third carry of the ball game, and he puts it on the turf, and Tarboro has it. Triple back T set behind Heath, handed off up the middle to McGuire. McGuire is met immediately, maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Again, Shelby's just doing great penetration out of their defensive line. That front five of Shelby's doing an outstanding job. C.J. Petty, David Gann, Atlas Chancellor, and Taiwan Chancellor, both are cousins, doing a great job up front right now for Shelby.
Make it a gain of 1.5, second down and a long 8, we'll call it. 5:18 left to go in the ball game, or I should say in the first half. 21-0 is the score. Golden Lions of Shelby out in front, trying to win their 3rd state championship. Hand off to Black, now Heath is gonna keep it, and it goes right into the hands. Looked like it was Roseboro lined up as a linebacker, and it just hit his chest plate and bounced right down to the turf. Actually make it Antonio Borders, who was there for the possible interception.
Well, that's one thing that both these teams don't do very well, or they don't do it very often, and that's throw the football. But tonight, because Tarboro's in such a deficit right now, down 21 points, they've got to come up with some quick points here and try to get back on the board and get in the ball game before halftime with 5 minutes left here in the second quarter.
How big would it be for them to even just get a field goal right now?
Huge. Any points on the board would just give them some type of momentum going into half.
McGuire is the lone back behind Heath. Trips out to the far side, and they'll hand it right back up the middle. McGuire is met and stuck hard after a gain of 2 on the play. Mario Camp there once again.
I tell you what, every time they see that 4 come up on the down markers, they've got to be afraid about their kicking game, because the last 3 punts they've had have not been very good kicks, and it puts Shelby in good field position every time.
Shelby is a very athletic team. They do block kicks, and Heath is back inside the 10 to put it and punt it away. A low line drive kick, fielded and botched at the 45-yard line. There to cover it up is Antoine Hamilton, so the ball does stay in the hands of Shelby. Hamilton a little discouraged and a little upset at himself right now, but the good news is that Shelby does get the ball back.
I don't know what the temperature is right now, but there's something like kicking that cold football and the air not being like it is when it's about 70 degrees or 75 degrees outside. Makes it a little different ball to kick, and also a different ball to catch and throw. So that could be one of the factors that's preventing him from getting good kicks for Tarboro right now.
Breaking the huddle are the Golden Lions. Jarvis Harris under center. He's looking around like maybe he's missing somebody out there. Now he'll flip the towel up from Paul McMurray and take the ball. First down, pitch out. Breaking it up and stuck hard. Anthony Harris on the carry, and coming up to pop him hard, Big Al Williams.
Big Al on the hit. Oh, man, he came from his middle linebacker spot, and he really leveled him coming out there off the pitch that time. And that's Tarboro starting to try to get a little fire underneath them right now, and they've got to do something on defense to prevent Shelby from putting more points on the board, or this game could be over with before halftime.
Al Williams is really working extra hard right now to try to get his team fired up. He was walking around in the defensive huddle, slapping some headgear, jumping up and down, doing whatever he can to try to get the blood pumping in the veins of the Vikings. Second down and 10, whistles on the play. There was still 2 seconds on the play clock, so it might be false start on the offense. And Darryl, you bring up a great point. This is really the first night of the entire playoff season that we have seen temperatures down anywhere near normal.
It is, and this is December, and this
encroachment on the fence, 5-yard pick, still second down.
Let's go down to Mike Winhart quickly.
You talk about the weather all week long. I was looking forward to doing this game, thinking it was going to be in the 60s at this time. But, you know, it's really not that bad down here. None of the players seem to be cold, and they're all sweating. And especially when they're out there hitting, it really is not that bad on the field. I thought it was going to be a lot colder than it is.
Second down and a long 15 for the Golden Lions. Back to pass is Harris, looking down the middle, overshoots and picked off. The Vikings have it, turning it down and bringing it back right to left. Coming up with the INT, Travis Heath. The quarterback finally makes a big play, and it's on defense.
I'll tell you what, another mistake by Shelby, and this time it's coming off a play of something that they don't do a lot either, and that's throw the football. With the running type of offense that they have, they come up with an interception, Tarboro does, and this is, again, putting them in good field position now on the 35-yard line, a chance to get a score before halftime and get back into this football game. 25-yard return by Travis Heath pushes the ball for Tarboro across the 40 out to the 35-yard line, so a short field for Tarboro with 3:14 left to go in the first half, trailing it 21-0. Heath under center, first down and 10. Fakes, hands it off to Black. Black is brought down in the backfield by C.J. Petty, loss of 2 on the play. Again, the defensive line of Shelby, outstanding job. Right now they're grading 100%. Defensive at multiple offense, they're getting great penetration, getting there and getting the running back before he can get to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we know about Mario Camp. Keep an eye on Eric White also, the other outside linebacker on the strong side, Darryl. He's just a sophomore. We saw him give the ball away on offense, but he's having a pretty good ball game also, shooting the gap. C.J. Petty, he's pretty special, 6'3", 215 pounds. He runs around a 4.5 40, and he does most of it in the backfield tonight. Back to passes Heath. He's in all kinds of trouble. Swarmed under, now he breaks out of the backfield. Cuts it across to the 30, down to the 25-yard line, where he is brought down from behind. A big gainer on the play. C.J. Petty had to come back on the play, and it will be a first down for Tarboro. Make it officially at the 24.
Special run that time, and being a quarterback and defensive back, he's got some moves back there. He threw some moves that time and had some defensive linemen losing themselves out there trying to find out where he's at with a great elusive run that time to get him a first down.
Tarboro with just 37 total yards of offense here in the first half. They do have a first down at the 19-yard line, make it. Black to the outside, he gets to the 15, close to the 15 I should say, across the 20 and nudged out of bounds oh so gently. There to make the hit is Matt Holyfield. Matt did a good job of keeping him from making it all the way around the corner, Darryl, or it could have been 6 points.
It could have been 6 points, and this is the type of offense that I expected to see early on from Tarboro. Now they're starting to get their gears rolling here as we've got a timeout down on the field.
There is a timeout on the field, taken by Shelby. So we're going to take a timeout. Timeout on the field, 1:58 left to go in the first half. A network timeout, stations, 21-0 is our score. Lions out in front of the Vikings.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA sport. No matter what the sport, they're working hard to create and maintain a wholesome athletic environment at all events. Sportsmanship is a top priority and a vital part of high school athletics. That's part of what they do at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, inspiring individuals, encouraging excellence.
Move that body. Move that body. Move that body. Move that body. Move that body.
Gatorade.
Move that body.
Is it in you?
Move that body.
Life is a sport.
Move that body.
Drink it up.
Move that body.
TJ McGuire takes the second down handoff and is pounded after a gain of 1, so it'll be third down and a long 1.5 for Tarboro, trying to get on the scoreboard any way, shape, or form. 1:35 left to go in the first half. Darryl Green, McGuire, Heath, Black, whoever has the ball, they're getting popped.
They're getting popped. Shelby's putting the plastic on them right now. This is one of the biggest plays of the ball game for Tarboro right here.
Third down and 1.5. They hand it off to the last back through. Trying to get there was Jermaine Ricks, and he will be brought up way short of the first down. He'll need to get at least another yard and a half. May have barely gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Now the question is, do they kick the field goal right here, down 21 points, or do you go for the first down with that multi-T offense of yours and try to put some points on the board with 57 seconds left here in the half?
Timeout taken by Tarboro. we're going to keep it right here. Let's go down to Mike Winhart. Mike, how much do they have to get, and what do you think they'll use to try to get the first down?
Well, it looks like they've got about 2 full yards. The ball is on the 21, and the down marker is right on the 19, so they've got 2 full yards. You know, unfortunately, Shelby is so quick, they haven't been able to get it outside. I think you've got to give it to the fullback up the middle and just hope that the power can get those 2 yards.
Yeah, T.J. McGuire, Mike, and Darrell came into this ball game needing just 67 yards for 2,000 on the year, 23 touchdowns. But right now, Shelby really has Tarboro's number.
Yeah, they really do. The defensive line has done a great job of getting penetration and disrupting what's happening in the backfield with all the different fakes. And right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see them do a play-action pass right here and just to get the first down and maybe even try to score right before half here.
Biggest play of the ball game for Tarboro on 4th down and a long 1.5, maybe a full 2. Defensive coaches were out there talking to the Golden Lions, and here's the 4th down play. Handoff, Heath keeps it, he'll have the first down over the left-hand side. Across the 15, down close to the 10-yard line. And they keep it in the hands of the senior quarterback, and we talked about it in the pregame. Heath had to have something happen for him.
He did, and I tell you what sold that play right there was the great fake he gave to the fullback. There were 6 people back in the backfield tackling the fullback as he was going around in and up the field for the first down.
First down and goal from the 8. Time is not on the side of Tarboro. 39 seconds left to go in the half. Handoff up the middle to McGuire. McGuire gets to the 5. Gain of 3, and the clock continues to roll. Now it is stopped with 31 seconds left. 31 seconds left to go in the first half.
I think Tarboro's got to take the ball back outside again and keep the ball in Travis Heath's hands and let him option off the defensive ends. And that's something they've got to do right now with 31 seconds left to put themselves on the board, to give themselves a chance in this football game in the second half.
And they have to make a couple big decisions here, not only what to do with this play, but the next if they do not get into the end zone, because our statistician Robert Singletary is telling me that this is their last time out. So what do you do, Darrell? Do you put the ball in the air because the clock will stop if it is incomplete? Or do you keep it on the ground, which is basically what got you to Chapel Hill?
Well, you got to keep it on the ground. That's what got them here. That's their main offense, that multiple-T offense, running the multiple fakes in the backfield. So they got to keep the ball on the ground. It takes about 7 to 8 seconds to run a play. You got to get your players back, down the ball. If they get there's no way to get the first down, but they've got to get in the end zone before half.
And they really don't have a play to waste, i.e. spike the ball or something like that, because it is second down and they really only have 2 shots left.
This is it.
Second down and goal from the 5. Black is in the backfield along with McGuire. Shifting sides is the tight end. Heath hands it off up the middle. McGuire takes it maybe down to the 4.
Again, I really think they need to fake that handoff to the fullback like they did last time. Keep the ball in Heath's hands. Let him get out there with his elusive style of running and go up the field with it.
Second play that was called in the huddle. Here's Heath under center. Third down and goal from the 4. Fake to Black, throw it out to the far side, up in the air, tipped up in the air, incomplete. Great effort on the far side by T.J. Williams. Over there on the coverage for Shelby was Nick Hopper. And Nick did a great job of just keeping T.J. from getting both hands on the football.
And Travis Heath did a good job of throwing that ball on 1 foot as he was being tackled in the backfield back there to get that ball out there in position for the receiver to even get a hands on.
Well, here's the last play of the first half, any way, shape, or form. 3.9 seconds left to go. It'll be 4th down and goal from the 4. I don't see a field goal kicker on the field, do you?
Not a chance.
So here it is. The senior Travis Heath will try to operate, try to get 6 points. Under center, the snap, back to pass, rolling out to the far side, slings it in the end zone, touchdown to Black. Black was rolling out and he beat his man on the coverage. He was wide open for the 6 points.
Derek Black got lined up on a linebacker out there, ran just a little short out play inside the end zone, about 3 yards inside the end zone. Travis Heath did a great job of putting the ball out there on a tight spiral for the touchdown.
So David Bailey will come on, the junior, and try to knock it through and make it a 21-7 halftime score. Here's the snap, the set, the kick is a line drive, and it is no good. No good. 21-6 is our score. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, You'll hear from Mr. Eddie Thomas on our halftime affair, including Alan Ford from the Shelby Star and Q Tucker from the NCHSAA. 2-minute break on the Championship Radio Network.
People were
That was Shelby, 193 yards on 22 carries. That's 8.6. There you have it, 21-6 at half.
That's a far cry from the 566 yards they've been averaging during the playoffs. It's not something I expected to happen tonight, but Shelby's putting on a great defensive show tonight, and Tarboro's got to get it going here in the second half.
Our hearts have to go out to Isaac Mooring. He had a sensational career at Tarboro. He was all-conference, all-area, 145 tackles, leading tackler for the team coming into tonight's game, verbally committed to UNC, and now he is out with a torn medial collateral ligament. And that's just a tough thing to have happen to a young man, and I hope he's able to recover and go on and have a very special college career. Second half is almost underway. Ball is on the tee, and Travis Heath will kick it off for Tarboro. Back to receive it for Shelby. Antoine Hamilton and Anthony Harris. Harris has a touchdown on the night. Squib kick on the ground, rolls around at the 28-yard line, and that is where Hamilton pounces on it, make it Harris right at the, see where they'll officially spot this. They'll move it up about to the 28-yard line, so that is where it will be first down and 10 for Shelby.
It's a good job by Antoine Hamilton, asking Anthony Harris to recover that squib kick that time. Tarboro had a bead on that football, but Anthony Harris pounced on it and recovered it for Shelby to give him good field position to start the second half.
We'll go down on the field to Mike Winhart after this first down play for the Golden Lions, leading at 21-6. First play from scrimmage of the second half. Under center is Harris. Hands it off up the middle, pounding his way. Gain of 5 on the play is the young buck, Eric White, with Travis Roseboro out with a twisted ankle. Mike Winhart.
Robert, you mentioned them putting the ball on the tee. I've never seen that. They put the ball flat on the ground, laid it down like an egg. Travis Heath kicked it, put a side spin on it, and it's one of those almost an unofficial onside kick, hoping to recover it and change the momentum of the game.
Travis Roseboro now in the ball game, and Darrell, you can easily see the white tape on his right ankle. See how long he can hang in there. His team leading at 21-6. Second down and a long 3. Handoff up the middle to the fullback. Roseboro gutting his way close to the first down. Hanging on for dear life for Tarboro. Gerald Perry, I should say. He's an all-conference defensive lineman.
This time, this is a big defensive series for Tarboro. They've got to get a stop here, 4 and out, and getting possession of the football again and try to score as soon as possible to put themselves back in this football game. It's a new ball game right now. Even though they're down 21-6, they've got to come over with a defensive stand right now.
Frankie Crawford shuttles in the play for Shelby. He'll come out to the near side. The wing bone set with Roseboro the lone back. They hand it off to him on 3rd down and 1. He will have the first down, making his way across the 40-yard line all the way out close to the 44, make it the 43. First down and 10 for Shelby.
That time Shelby's offensive line went shoulder to shoulder, just lowered their shoulders and just moved Tarboro off the football to give them a first down.
Derek Black has now taken up the cheerleading role for Tarboro. He's talking to his fellas in the defensive huddle as they break. 2-back set now for Shelby. The wing back is Hamilton. Fake to the fullback. Harris is going to keep it. Cuts back. Black makes the tackle after a gain of 2. Across about to the 46-yard line for the play. That'll set up second down and about 7.
Jarvis Harris did a good time of faking the football and cutting back against the grain, but Tarboro's defense was stayed in place and made the tackle for only a short gain that time for Shelby.
Shelby has been stellar in this ball game. Their offense undersized by comparison to Tarboro. They average 217 pounds. Tarboro's offensive line up near 250, but they have the 21 points. Hand off to Roseboro up the middle. He'll have the first down across the 50, across the 45, brought down from behind at the 43-yard line of Tarboro.
Well, that time they went to the weak side of their offensive set, and Tarboro was defense to their strong side, and that time they took advantage of the weak side, and Travis Roseboro gained a nice yard, gained the first down for Shelby that time.
And Darrell, once again, Shelby has picked up the pace in the huddle. They are wasting no time to get to the line of scrimmage. First count, give it off to Hamilton. Hamilton to the near side, brought down after a gain of 2. They hand it off to the wing back. Over there to make the tackle coming over from Tarboro is James Jones as he makes his way through the commotion and through the traffic from his defensive line position. He's had a pretty good first half and most of this second half that we have seen.
James Jones is doing a good job coming up from his defensive end position, and the defensive end's got to do a better job right now stopping Shelby from getting outside of him.
All-conference center Paul McMurray over the football. Harris under center. His cadence brings the linebackers up. They hand it off to Roseboro. He is met immediately. Cedric Petaway and Gerald Perry there to make the tackle. Maybe a gain of 1, 3rd down and a long 7.
Right now, Tarboro is sending the linebackers. They're shooting the gaps right now. They're putting a lot of people in the box, trying to defend that Greenbone offense and keep them from going up the middle with Roseboro. But they got to be careful that they don't line everybody up there and they go right outside of that and hit the sidelines on them for a long gain.
Crawford brings the play in. They move the spot up across the 40 to the 39-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 6. Shelby in their white tops, black pants, golden helmets, moving from left to right. Harris gives the ball off to the wing back, slashing his way across to the 35. Flag on the play. Harris on the carry. Harris with just his 2nd touchdown of the year in the first half to open up the scoring of the ball game. We'll have to see how things sort out. Toby Thorpe is the referee along with Jack Phillips, the umpire. Call is going to go against Tarboro. So adding insult to injury, as it was a 1st down carry for Harris.
Mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Darrell Green, that's a big call.
That's a big 15-yard penalty on top of about a 10-yard gain, so that's a 25-yard gain for Shelby that time. That puts him inside the 20-yard line again on Tarboro.
It's at about the 16.5-yard line. Harris trying to maybe put the stake in the heart here as he hands it off up the middle. Great fake. And Roseboro just will not go down. Takes 4 or 5 guys to bring him down, bad ankle or not.
Yeah, 5 or 6 people are on top of Roseboro that time, and he's still struggling to gain that extra inch, that extra yard for Shelby that time. Well, I tell you what, if the Shelby scores this time, I don't know, you may say that will be the nail that closed the conference shut on Tarboro.
Well, the Vikings in their purple tops, white pants, need to dig in here. It is 2nd down and 3. Ball at the 10-yard line. Hand up the middle. Roseboro into the end zone. The lone man there to stop him was Alonzo Exum, and he had no chance.
He had no chance that time. Roseboro had a head of steam going up over right tackle that time with just the base dive play out of that Greenbone set. Went through the line of scrimmage untouched, and the only person he had to get through was Alonzo Exum, and he power drived him into the end zone for the touchdown for Shelby as they go up 27-6, with the point after attempt coming.
10 plays, 72-yard drive, took 4 minutes and 54 seconds. The extra point is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 28-6 is our score. Local stations will give you this timeout with 7:06 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Golden Lions way out in front, 28-6.
With Special Olympics, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you train for the game. It's year-round training, day after day, that helps athletes with mental retardation or closely related developmental disabilities build self-confidence and live better lives. With Special Olympics, there's no off-season. So if you'd like to get involved right now, right here in your own community, call North Carolina Special Olympics at 1-800-843-6276. Special Olympics, it's training for life.
Well, the losses on the year for Tarboro, the most they have given up on the year was 35 points to Hertford County, and they led that ball game in the 4th quarter. They are not leading it right now, trailing 28-6. Receiving the kick is Black, and Black is brought down at the 25-yard line after a return of 10, 12 yards. Mario Camp there to make the hit once again. And Darrell Green, the total offense picture looks like this. Golden Lions, 249. Vikings, 60.
Defense. We talked about that early on. What kind of defense would Shelby do have against this Tarboro multiple T offense? And right now, the defensive line has been the story for Shelby. They've got great penetration, and it's disrupted the Tarboro multiple T offense tonight.
Travis Heath under center. Ball is at the 27. Black in motion. Handoff up the middle to McGuire, and he is eaten alive. Megan Heath with a keeper around the left-hand side. Totally faked me out. Flags on the play.
Yeah, Tarboro's totally out of sync right now. He had two people in motion that time, and that's going to be the penalty against Tarboro.
What a great fake by Heath. He took a big stick. At the end of this ball game, we will give an outstanding defensive, offensive, and defensive player for both the East and the West. Here's the call.
Illegal shift, fence, 5-yard penalty.
Toby Thorpe telling you what Darrell Green told you seconds prior, and that will move it back for Tarboro. Darrell, everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now for the Vikings.
It has, and I don't want to say this is the cause of it outside and take away from the showing of Shelby, but I didn't see Tarboro warm up. They never came out of the locker room, and I don't know if they came out tight or if that's what the key is, but the Shelby's really fired up right now.
Tarboro spreading the field, trips to the far side, single wide out to the near side. Heath back to pass. He'll scramble out across the 20, brought down from behind at the 25-yard line. There to make the tackle, coming up from his defensive line position, Atlas Kanzler. He is pretty darn good. 88 tackles on the year for a nose guard, Darrell. Most times those guys in a 4-3 set basically are there just to occupy blockers. When you can have close to 100 tackles from a nose guard position, you're probably pretty quick.
You're pretty quick and you're pretty strong too, because you got to fight off a lot of people to get outside to make tackles. And he's doing a great job tonight getting to the football, and he's been a key component for Shelby's defense tonight.
Shelby will have a lot of this defense back next year. Only 4 seniors on either side of the football. Heath back to pass on 2nd and long. Rolling out to the far side, looking back across the middle, caught short of the first down. Coming up with the ball for Tarboro, Matt Taylor. It'll bring up 3rd down and about maybe 4 or 5, make it a long 4. Stations, we owe you an ID, and we're going to do it right now. 10-second stations, 10 seconds for station identification on the Championship Radio Network. Third down and 4. Tarboro goes long down the near side, way overshot, intended for Black, out of bounds. The ball falls at the 35-yard line. It'll set up 4th down and 4. Tarboro will have to kick it away. Mike Winhart, somebody special down on the sidelines?
Well, it's a homecoming of sorts. Kelvin Bryant, former Tarboro great, is down here on the sideline. And I think Coach Mike Schott would like to find a number 44 jersey and put him in the game. He didn't want to talk on air, but said don't give up on the boys yet.
Well, the Tarboro faithful, who came out in great numbers along with the Shelby fans, not going to give up on either team. Heath, a line drive kick. Back to receive it for Shelby is Hamilton. He lets it get over his head, now fields it at the 20, trying to get to the outside. He'll be run out of bounds and now tackled just short of the out of bounds marker. Good pursuit by Alonzo Exum. You got a question though, Darrell, should you even field that punt?
No, when it goes over your head like that, just let it go, and they were still going to be in good field position wherever the ball was going to land. So he took a chance that time trying to pick the football up, and had he had more field, he may have outrun some of those Tarboro players that time. He's a very quick runner. I tell you what, he got outside of those Tarboro defenders that time and almost took it up the field.
Antoine Hamilton, we'll forgive a mistake or two. He's just a sophomore at 5'3", 140 pounds, a 47-yard kick, minus 4-yard return. Official timeout on the field. And Darrell Green, going back to the point you made about Tarboro not warming up, with Shelby getting on the board early, that just gets everything off to the wrong step.
It does. They seemed out of sync from the beginning, from the reception of the kickoff and fumbling that, and not getting the kicking game going. They missed an extra point after the touchdown. There's a lot of things that just threw them out of sync. And I don't know if not warming up, not coming out on the field prior to the ball game had anything to do with it. I would think if I was a player, I would want to go out and warm up and stretch and get out of the locker room and kind of relax a little bit like Shelby did.
Roseborough's first down carry for 1 yard, so it is 2nd down and 9 for Shelby, moving from left to right with their golden helmets. Hand off to Roseborough once again. He's into the open field across the 20, down close to the 25-yard line. Needed to get across the 25 for the first down. It'll be a left or right foot spot. He will come up short about a half yard.
Right now, Shelby has no need to be in a lot of a hurry right now. They can just take their time, come up to the line of scrimmage and hike the ball with 3 seconds left for every time and move the ball down the field. And they're in great control of this football game, and they should be in no hurry.
Bringing the play in, Javian Hill, as Jarvis Harris calls the play in the huddle and comes up. Hands it off to Roseborough once again. Why not? He's your go-to guy. First down across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. First down, Shelby.
Just a base play out of the wing bone offense. Turn around, hand it off to your fullback, and go through your motions of your pitch and option outside the ends. And you have to maintain that option pitch fake. It's very important in order to make your offense effective, and they've done it every time. Every time they make the fake, they carry out their fake out there because that keeps the defense off guard.
Roseborough on the night, 18 carries, 84 yards. Give it to him one more time. Over the left-hand side into the open field. Flag on the play. He's out to the 40. It'll be a first down for Shelby if the flag is not on the Golden Lions. Coming way over to try to make the tackle was Chauncey Jones. He's not very happy, and we'll see what the flag is. Face mask on the defense. Wow, that's a big one.
I'll tell you what happens when you get a lot of face guard or face mask penalties. It's tackling with your hands. When you're reaching for players and you're getting blocked, the one thing that you try to do is reach out and try to grab something to bring the defender down. And tonight, Tarboro's been back on their heels quite a bit tonight with the great offensive showing of Shelby, and so they're doing a lot of reaching. And that's when you get the penalty of the face mask.
We had just 2 penalties in the first half. Toby Thorpe, microphone not really working up to speed tonight. As the play comes in from the Shelby sideline, that'll move it across midfield, and Tarboro once again is getting closer and closer to having their heels on their own goal line. 4 penalties for Tarboro, 46 yards here in the second half alone. Handoff, flag on the play again to Hamilton. Hamilton across the 20, or excuse me, across the 40, down close to the 20 as he sprints across the 30, down to the 27-yard line. That kid is quick.
I tell you, he got through that hole so quick, I didn't even know where the football was. That goes to show you the great faking ability also of Jarvis Heath on that option play for Shelby as well.
Harris, a very, very good quarterback, as he did not come back from last year's.
The offense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, repeat first down.
Thank you, Toby, as they will repeat first down. It was making a point that Jarvis Harris was not a quarterback on the team last year, so he is new to his position. Travis Roseborough, a linebacker on JV last year. A couple big players in this offense, Darrell, have really plugged themselves in and done an exceptional job this year. First down and a long 15. In motion is Hamilton. Harris is going to keep it over the left-hand side. He'll have a first down and more. Breaks it back at the 30. Be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Good run by Jarvis Harris. First, he faked the dive into the fullback through the middle, option off the tackle, took it outside, had no pitch relationship with his wingback, decided to cut it back across the grain for a nice gain over the 30-yard line to pick up a first down after being penalized for a motion play prior to that play.
When we talked to Chris Norman in the pregame, he said that Harris has really just evolved into the quarterback that he wanted in the last couple games. What a great time to have your field general peak.
Yeah, right in the state championship game, which is one of the biggest games that they'll ever play.
13th first down for Shelby to just 4 for Tarboro on first down. Roseborough pounds it over the right-hand side, down across the 25-yard line, gain of 4 on the play, and he is excited.
dive play by Roseboro. He's excited because he was stopped for no gain and wound up making about 5 yards on the play after he broke 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage that time.
Roseboro now eclipsing the 100-yard mark. We thought it would be a Tarboro running back be the first guy to get to 100, but no, it's the former JV linebacker. What a great story. Roseboro, the lone back, handed off to Hamilton. Hamilton over the left-hand side, make it Harris. Harris lined up as the wing back. Another flag on the play. But the whole first half with just 2, and we've had quite a few in a row here.
Holding on Shelby this time. Looks like there's a sale on that yellow hanky right now. Tarboro's being penalized a couple times, and now Shelby's being penalized a couple times here. And Tarboro's almost equaled their yard gained running the ball with their penalties tonight.
It's a good point. Here's Toby Thorpe.
From the spot of the foul. Repeat 7.
So that will move it back across the 30. They need to get inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Second down and a long 13. Flags again on the play. 2 championship teams looking like they're playing an endowment game way back in August.
Well, I know what I'm getting Toby Thorpe for Christmas, Robert.
Go ahead.
A microphone.
and not the Donnie and Marie variety, I assume.
5-yard penalty. Still.
Why don't you just fax us what the penalties are?
Second down after the penalty. It'll be second down in about 9 or 8. A long 8, we'll call it. Handoff to the wing back again. Darting his way is Harris. He goes over the left-hand side. He might get 3 on the play. The linebackers of Al Williams and now James Jones, they seem to be having a hard time reading the play. That's what we expected from the Shelby linebackers.
Exactly. I didn't think Tarboro would have a hard time. I mean, because this is really a basic wishbone offense, a broken bone, whatever you want to call it, a wing bone as they call it there at Shelby. But it's really a pretty basic triple option offense. You see it quite often in the high school level. So I didn't think they would have a hard time as much as I would Shelby.
Third down and 4. Double tight end set. Harris has a hard time with the handoff. He'll keep it and dive up the middle for 2. He'll be short of the first down as the third quarter will draw to a close. It'll now be 4th down and a long 2.5. This will do it for the third quarter. Our score at the end of 3. The Golden Lions 28, the Vikings 6. Network timeout stations on the Championship Radio Network.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA.
For Shelby, 115 yards. Tarboro, 3 plays, 11 yards. Robert Singletary doing a fantastic job on stats for us tonight. Shelby on 4th down and 2. Handoff to Roseboro up the middle. Touchdown, Shelby. And he gimps his way through the end zone. He'll come back and get a high five from his good buddy, Frankie Crawford.
You talking about following your blocking through the hole. I'll tell you what, he had a host of blockers going through that off tackle that time, and as soon as he got through the secondary, there was no one there as he went in the end zone untouched on just a basic dive play out of that wing bone offense of Shelby.
4th down and 2. You thought maybe Shelby was getting a little greedy to go for it. That hole was big, real big.
Unavoidable to run through that one.
Extra point, snap, set, kick. No good. So Shelby shows a little chink in the armor, but up 34-6. I don't think they're going to complain. Golden Lions out in front will take a timeout. 11:54 left to go in the ball game. Shelby out in front by 28 on the Championship Radio Network.
Radio's all you need. Radio's all you need. When you've got a radio, you can hear everything.
Eric Rockhold's kick is in the air. Underneath it is Derek Black. Black across the 20 to the 25, the 30. He moves his way to the outside, cuts it back up the middle to the 35, where he is finally brought down after maybe the biggest return of the game for Tarboro. And they will put it into offensive mode. There is a player down for the Vikings. And we'll try to get some clarification on that. Mike Winhart, let's throw it down to you. If you have information on the injury, that's great. But what are you seeing down there right now that Shelby is able to do to that Tarboro defensive front?
Well, Robert, that's Matt Taylor down on the field, and he went down early in the kickoff, and he's in obvious pain. Looks like a knee for there, too. You know, Shelby's just executing. That's all there is to it. They're snapping the ball, they're hitting the holes, making their blocks, and more than that, they're sustaining the blocks and letting the back get past the line. And once they're into the secondary, they're just so fast. You know, it's 34-6. It's pretty evident.
Here's some offensive numbers for you, Mike and Daryl. Shelby, total offense, 327. Tarboro, 71. I don't think anybody in this stadium saw that coming.
I know I did. Now, I'm still in shock, Robert, at the I knew the offensive showing would be pretty equal, I thought, coming into this ball game. But I thought Shelby would have a harder time defending the multiple T offense of Tarboro versus Tarboro having a hard time playing against that Ween Bone offense.
Well, Saturday morning, Raymond Cobb will be back here once again with his North Edgecombe team going for another state championship, trying to make it 2 in a row. And I saw him at halftime. Of course, they share the same township as Tarboro. And I asked him, is this what you expected in any way? And he said, absolutely not. He was shocked.
I'm still in shock. I did not expect a game like this, especially a blowout in the state championship final of this magnitude.
First down and 10 for Tarboro. The ball at the 39-yard line. Handoff up the middle. TJ McGuire maybe gets 4 or 5. Brought down on the play by Mario Camp. Also there helping out was Taiwan Kanzler. Him along with his cousin have really played a great job up front, along with David Gant, C.J. Petty. Daryl, we can only really give away one Defensive Player of the Game award for each side, but if we could, you probably want to just take that whole front 7 for Shelby and say, here's a plaque.
Absolutely. They've done a great job. Again, penetration on that Tarboro offense has been the key for them tonight.
Second down and 5. It's going to be the halfback option. They pitch it back to Black. He's looking downfield, looking, rolling. Gets popped. Intercepted out of the hands. He threw it at the last possible second. The safety was back there licking his chops, and at the last possible minute, he tried to dive for it, and actually it was the strong backer, Eric White, and it just hit his chest plate and fell to the turf.
I was watching that whole defense that time as they rotated and that whole defense unfolded. It was just a great defensive play by Shelby that time as they ran the halfback pass to Derek Black that time. And he couldn't find anybody open. He tried to force it in there and almost had it picked off. It was just a good job by Shelby that time. Great rotation in the secondary.
What should Derek Black have done on that play?
Kept the ball and took it upfield.
So that sets up third down and 5. The ball is at the 43-yard line. We are in the fourth quarter. 11:01 left to go in the ball game. Lions out in front, 34-6. Back to pass is Heath. No surprise there. Lobs it down the field. Triple coverage. In and out of the hands of a Shelby defender one more time. An ill-advised pass. Greg Wilson was laying back there. Almost looked like it was nickel coverage. Just in and out of his hands, quite simply.
That's 3 interceptions that they've had so far that they've dropped tonight. I mean, pretty easy interception. That ball was up there for quite a long time, and it was an easy interception. He just took his hands and eyes off the ball and dropped it.
Well, INTs have not been something that Shelby has a lot of this year, mainly because teams don't throw against them that much. Tarboro has taken a timeout. We will take a timeout. Take this network timeout. 10:55 left to go in the ball game. Lions lead it 35-6 on the Championship Radio Network.
Wendy's. People, we're casting for the perfect announcer for Wendy's hamburgers.
Wendy's quarter-pound single and half-pound double with cheese are made
cut
like super really fresh when you order them.
Next.
so they're always so hot and
Jukey, juicy, sorry.
Well, dang me, Wendy's quarter-pound.
Cut. You in the red tie, you're next.
Wendy's quarter-pound single and half-pound double with cheese are made fresh when you order them, so they're always hot and juicy.
Oh, I love it.
Wendy's, we do it Dave's way.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA sport. No matter what the sport, they're working hard to create and maintain a wholesome athletic environment at all events. Sportsmanship is a top priority and a vital part of high school athletics. That's part of what they do at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, inspiring individuals, encouraging excellence.
Tarboro goes for it on 4th and 5. Swing it out to Derek Black. He'll have the first down. Little flanker screen play as he breaks it across the 50 down to the 45-yard line inside Shelby territory, and they're going to spot it at the 44.
Well, the one bright spot for Tarboro's offense tonight, I have to say, has been Travis Heath as well as Derek Black. Derek Black's done a great job tonight on kickoff returns and on offense as well. And Travis has been doing a good job of getting the ball down the field as best he can tonight.
Black lines up in the slot as two wideouts to the near side. Heath back to pass. He's going to scramble. He's got to the 40. Breaks a tackle down to the 40, 38-yard line. Coming up to make the tackle, Big Al Williams, as he kept kept Heath out of the end zone, maybe.
Yeah, Big Al, and also Mario Camp came up as well from his outside linebacker spot that time. Travis Heath is a very loose runner, and I thought he had actually broken the tackle, gotten out of that tackle that Mario put on it.
Correction, it was Chris Jeffords on the tackle for Shelby. Heath hands it off up the middle to McGuire. McGuire has the first down across the 35 down to the 33. Just the old belly play. First time it has worked pretty much all night for that big of a gain for Tarboro.
Yeah, they've pretty much taken that out of their offense tonight. It hasn't been that successful for Tarboro. Shelby's doing a great job of defending that play.
So first down and 10, the ball at the 32. Fumble on the snap. Heath on top of it. Maybe a loss of a half a yard. C.J. Petty was there. He was unable to get to it quick enough. Travis Heath did a good job of just getting on top of it. Boy, I'll tell you, everything that could go wrong for Mike Schott has gone wrong tonight, the second-year head coach from Mountain Union.
Well, you know, with Shelby's experience here at Kenan Stadium, back-to-back appearances here for them tonight, it's got to be disappointing for Tarboro. But again, this is their first trip here in quite some time, so they got to be disappointed again in their showing, though.
It'll be a big rebuilding project for Coach Schott next year. Seven starters from offense will go bye-bye. Swing it out to Black. Black tries to cut it back. He'll be short of the first down. Needed to get inside the 25 down to the 22. He'll be 3 yards short.
That time it was just a wide receiver screen out there, and I thought had he turned it back outside and tried to use the sideline as his friend instead of coming back in toward where the defense is running at you, he may have picked up the first down, but he decided to try to break it back across the grain and ran right back into the heart of the defense of Shelby.
Correcting myself, for Tarboro on offense, make it 9 starting seniors go bye-bye at the end of this year. Third down and 3. Heath back to pass, fires a bullet. Black catches it. He'll have the first down at the 21-yard line, but hold everything. There's a penalty on the play. Toby Thorpe, the referee, standing on top of the flag, which sits at the 32-yard line. And they will call it against Tarboro, Darrell Green.
Illegal motion. Someone was moving on the line of scrimmage that time for Tarboro, and Travis Heath delivered a bullet to Derek Black that time, and I was surprised. I almost took Black's head off. I tell you what, if he hadn't caught it, he probably would have. It was a good catch by Black to maintain possession of that football.
Mike Winhart.
Illegal formation on the offense, only 6 on the line. Repeat third.
Penalty will go against Tarboro. And Mike Winhart, I know one game as we continue on with our broadcast schedule throughout the weekend, we will finish things off with a 4A game, and I know you're excited about that meeting between Garner and Richmond County.
Very excited. Garner comes in undefeated, as does Richmond County, obviously nationally ranked. But that is going to be a matchup. Both teams feature a lot of speed. It's going to be a real exciting game to watch, and I expect to see a lot of points in that game.
Should be a great game. Tomorrow night's game won't be any slouch either. Third down and a long 8 or 9. Heath swings it out, overshoots Black in the left flat. Black really had no chance. That was overthrown by a good 4 or 5 feet. Tomorrow night, of course, we have the 3A matchup between Carver and Kings Mountain. Both those teams ranked among the top 10 in the state to start the season and have stayed there all year long. Kings Mountain 14-1. Carver, the Yellow Jackets, at 15-0. Rick Dayton, Scott Stankiewicz, and yours truly will bring that game to you tomorrow night. I'll be down on the sidelines. Hopefully it'll be just a couple degrees warmer than it is tonight. Big fourth down play for Tarboro, trailing at 34-6, 7:41 left to go, and Heath botches the snap. He'll fall down on top of it at the line of scrimmage at the 30-yard line, and Shelby will take over.
That's all I can say.
We hired you for that.
Oh my goodness! I tell you what, Tarboro has got to be very disappointing in their showing tonight. They didn't play up to par, and when you get a game, you get in a state championship game like this, you want to try to put on your best showing or play your best football game, and I bet they'd like to take this one back and have a do-over.
Boy, I agree with your sentiments there. There really isn't a whole lot to say as first down and 10 play to Roseboro is snuffed out for no gain on the right-hand side. It was a first down play from just across the 30, and he will maybe lose a yard on the play. And Darryl, it's just tough to see anybody make it all the way to Chapel Hill and not put their best foot forward.
Exactly. I think that's the big thing for these young men is that, you know, what are you going to remember about this day? You know, we went to Kenan Stadium, we played a great football game, but we came up short on the scoreboard. Or you want to say, well, we went to Kenan Stadium and that was about it. I don't want to have it remembered that way. And Tarboro did not show up to play a good football game tonight.
There is a penalty on the play. That's why there is a delay in action. And we would like to remind you that coming up after the game, join us along with your host, Eddie Thomas, as we bring you a complete wrap-up of the state championship game. But first, let's go down to Mike Winhart.
Well, it looks like there's a little taunting going down on that play. Stopped the Shelby ball carrier for a 1-yard loss, and a couple of the Tarboro players were running their mouth, getting a little overexcited. It is 34-6 with 7 minutes to go, and I think the referee didn't like the tone of the conversation and threw the flag.
Mike, one of your jobs in the postgame will be talking to Chris Norman along with some of the winning players, and we will also give out the individual awards plus your final stats and a special musical salute to the new state champions at the end of our broadcast. Darryl Green, you have any selections already picked out for your outstanding defensive or offensive players in this ballgame?
For Tarboro, I picked on offense, I picked Travis Heath, and on defense, I picked Al Williams. And for Shelby, it was Travis Roseboro on offense and Mario Kemp on defense.
Pretty good picks. I think you might be right on all 4 accounts. Have to wait and see, of course. And that is, that's why we'll keep it here at the post game. And we hope all the listeners out there will also keep it with us. Stats continue to roll in from Robert Singletary as there's a collision in the backfield. The handoff intended for Antoine Hamilton will go for a loss of 2 after the big 15-yard unsportsmanlike call against Tarboro. So the play started out at the 46-yard line, and it'll move back to the 42, loss of 4 yards on the play. Shelby on the night, 327 total yards. Tarboro with just 71. Wow.
Great defensive showing by Shelby tonight.
6:31 left to go in the ball game. 34-6 is our score. The Lions out in front. They hand it off on the play, and there is discussion about the ball being on the ground, and Tarboro says they have it. And up out of the pile is Antoine Hamilton, and he's not looking as fresh as he did when the game started. He's a little, either got his bell rung or just a little upset with himself.
Derek Black also slow to get up. He was on the bottom of that pile, and was the one who recovered that fumble that time for Tarboro.
There is a change of possession, and there's also a timeout by the umpires. We'll take a timeout. 34-6 is the score. 6:25 left to go in the ball game. Stations, a local timeout. 34-6, Lions out in front on the Championship Radio Network.
Apollo 13 turned from a mission of discovery to one of survival. The man in command was Jim Lovell, a man who has worn a lot of uniforms in his life. Like 125 other astronauts, Jim Lovell was a Boy Scout.
The one motto of the Scouts became very, very important to me, and that was be prepared.
The scouting motto helped Jim Lovell prepare for achievement, leadership, and the unexpected. Today, Scouting continues to prepare young men for whatever life has to offer. Scouting for life.
It was a one-play possession for Tarboro, a swing pass out to Kelvin Jones, and he is lit up like a Roman candle at the 41-yard line, make it the 39-yard line, and the possession changes hands, and Shelby just may have delivered the ultimate knockout blow, literally.
What a tackle that was. But Shelby's defense has been aggressive all night. They've really been delivering blows and laying some plastic on some people out there, and I just think he had the wind knocked out of him. But my goodness, what a lick.
So Shelby takes over. The ball is out close to the 45-yard line. Shelby moving from right to left. They have the lead and then some, 34-6. 6:18 left to go in the ball game. Shelby looking for their third state championship. They have been here 4 times, and they have walked away the winner twice. They won it back in 86 and 87, and looking to do it here in 1998. Roseboro up the middle on first down, gain of 4. Over to make the tackle for Tarboro, Cedric Petaway from his nose tackle position.
One thing that I've noticed about Shelby tonight, Robert, is that they have kept that same intensity throughout the ball game. There's been a few mistakes made, but they have kept that same intensity throughout the ball game. And Tarboro seem to be on this up and down wave throughout the ball game, where they've been up a few minutes and down the next couple of minutes. And Shelby's kept that same even keel of intensity throughout the ball game.
Second down and 5 from the 49. Harris under center. Hands it off over the left-hand side. Tackle by committee. Across the 50, down to the 38, make it the 48-yard line, excuse me. Roseboro once again. He was limping on the touchdown run, but he looks to be okay right now. All adrenaline or maybe a quick fix?
A lot of adrenaline, I think, right now. I mean, they got 5 minutes left, and you're going to be state champions, and you may start to see a little substitution here, so you can say I played in the state championship game with Kenan in 1998, and you'll start to see that here in just a few minutes.
The huddle breaks quickly for Shelby. What a proud, proud area of high school football it is in that Shelby neighborhood. With Crest and now the Golden Lions once again handed off to the slot back over the right-hand side as he swung around behind Harris. And it is close to the first down. No, he'll come up about 2 yards short. On the tackle, once again, Big Al Williams, who also gets my vote as the defensive player of the ball game for Tarboro. The proud Vikings will go back, but North Edgecombe gets a shot at it on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that ball game as well. North Edgecombe and Starmount. That should be a very exciting ball game as well. But I'm more excited about that Garner and Richmond County. I've been wanting to see Richmond County all year in person. I've seen them on TV quite a bit, but I want to see them in person here in Kenan. I'll be right here, front row and center.
Well, probably what might be the biggest freaks of nature as far as what we will see here this weekend is the offensive line for Kings Mountain as the punting unit comes out for Shelby. Robert Singletary, give me a nod here. This might be the first punt of the evening for Shelby. It is. A couple of people in the press box close to the Shelby program say that this is indeed the first punting situation for Shelby this evening with 3:56 left to go in the ball game. Kings Mountain, talking about their offensive line, they average 297 pounds.
Where's the beef?
Kings Mountain. A couple of the coaches for Carver were saying that maybe there was something in the water supply that year in Kings Mountain and wanted to know if they could get that brought over to the Winston-Salem area.
Either that or a special type of Similac.
Timeout on the field, 3:56 left to go in the ball game. Shelby they are within sight of the finish line. 34-6 is the score. Network timeout on the Championship Radio Network.
This is Wendy's.
Do you have the new steakhouse bacon cheeseburger?
Yes, sir.
With fresh beef?
A full quarter pound.
What else?
A natural blend of Swiss and cheddar.
Hey, how about sauteed onions? You know, it can't be a steakhouse cheeseburger without sauteed onions.
It's got them in a savory steak sauce.
Come and try Wendy's new Steakhouse Bacon Cheeseburger for rich, satisfying steakhouse taste in every bite.
Hey, sounds delicious, but will I need a sport coat?
No, sir.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Do you have valet parking?
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association is based in Chapel Hill and has been since 1913. Last year, well over 120,000 student athletes from all across the state participated in at least one NCHSAA sport. No matter what the sport, they're working hard to create and maintain a wholesome athletic environment at all events. Sportsmanship is a top priority and a vital part of high school athletics. That's part of what they do at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, inspiring individuals, encouraging excellence.
First punt of the evening for Shelby is fielded by Derek Black, a fair catch at the 20-yard line. So Tarboro will get one more shot, maybe two, at trying to put some more points on the board as they trail it by 28 here this evening. 34-6, 3:51 left to go in the first of 4 championship ball games, brought to you by Wendy's, Gatorade, and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Robert Flanagan, Darryl Green, and Mike Winhart down on the sidelines as we get ready to wrap this up for you between Tarboro and Shelby. Handoff up the middle to McGuire. McGuire, a 5-yard gain before he is tripped up and brought down hard by Jason McCleve. Mike Winhart, you getting any sense? Shelby's starting to get excited?
Yeah, down here on the sidelines, everyone is hugging. The coaches are hugging. The players are hugging, giving high fives. The subs are going in the game. It's a happy sideline down here at Shelby.
Well, Chris Norman, a 1984 graduate of Garner-Webb, has got to be excited. He swings it out. Pass down the near sideline, caught by Derek Black at the 43-yard line where he is bumped out of bounds. First down for Tarboro.
That's been the two brightest spots tonight for Tarboro. It's been Travis Heath and Derek Black. They have really showed up tonight and played a good football game along with Al Williams. They have really been the two bright spots for him tonight.
Well, Coach Norman will win, obviously, his first state championship, as it is just his first year at the helm. But he seems that he's probably going to have a long career ahead of him for Shelby. McGuire on the carry over the left-hand side, and let me spell that out for you. Jim Taylor stepped down last year after being a head coach from 1977 to 97. Before him, it was Pearlie Allen from 56 to 76. And prior to that, it was Casey Morris from 24 to 55. So at least 19 more years for Coach Norman. Pass is batted down on the 2nd down and 6 attempt. There to knock it down to the ground was Eric White, who has done well also filling in at the fullback position this evening.
Yeah, Eric White's played real well on both sides of the ball, carrying the ball at fullback and also at that strong backer position for Shelby tonight. And it's been a bright showing by this entire defensive staff for Shelby tonight. They've really outdone themselves tonight.
3rd down and 7. The ball is at the 44-yard line. 2:53 left to go in the ball game. Shelby with a 28-point lead here in the 2A championship. Handed off to Black, who is lined up at the wingback position. He's got a first down and more. 40, 30, he's down the sideline. He will score. 10-5 touchdown Tarboro.
Derek Black taking the wing back around that time and just cleared the sideline. Once he got outside, there was no one out there. It was just a foot race to the end zone, and that's the bright spot for Tarboro tonight. Derek Black and Travis Heath, a great fake in the beginning of that play to the fullback, and then handed it off to Derek Black around in for another Tarboro score. And I might say it's a little bit too late.
30th touchdown on the year for Derek Black. Congratulations on an exceptional senior season for the 5'11", 175-pounder. Mike Winhart.
Oh, not to take anything away from Derek Black, it was a great run. The Shelby starters are on the sidelines. They're high-fiving, they're hugging. I don't even think they saw him score.
Well, the Shelby starters allowed just 6 points in this ball game, so they've got to be tickled. They were actually a half a point below their average. The 2-point conversion is fumbled, picked up, and brought in for 2. Picking it up was Daryl Cooper. The pitch out to him, hit his hands, fell to the turf. He picked it up at the 5, scampered in, and it is now 34-14, 2:44 left to go.
You know they're going to onside kick this football, so they're going to put their all-hands team on the field right now to try and receive this kickoff. If Tarboro can score 2 more touchdowns, it's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. I'm being hypothetical here. They still, possibly, maybe, have a chance. They have to recover and score within the next 30 seconds. They have to score and get the ball back.
I know it's chilly, and I know it's cold, but Daryl, I just don't think so. I know it's been warm, and you know this is like the first real chilly night we've had in quite some time. Maybe it has, you know, the synapses in your brain might not be working 100%. I will agree with you that they are going to onside kick. Everything after that, I might have to argue against. Total offense on the evening, Robert Singletary continues to produce 322 to $189 for Tarboro. As David Bailey awaits. The shift from the near side to the far side sets up the onside kick. Bailey awaits. Now his toe will go into it. Actually, it is Travis Heath. Shelby botches it up into the air, and coming down with it for Tarboro is Nate Hall. And Darryl Green is just patting himself on the back. Don't dislocate anything.
If they score on this next play, we have a ball game. They'll be down 14 points.
If anything happens positive in this next play, I don't think the starters will be on the sideline anymore for Shelby.
I don't think they're on the sideline right now.
As a matter of fact, they all come out.
They're back in there. The high-fiving has stopped. The hugging has stopped on the sideline, and they're back in the ball game.
The Chancellor cousins are out there. David Gant, C.J. Petty, Mario Camp, Eric White are all back in the ball game. It's now a little bit of pride on the line for Shelby. No time actually went off the clock on that kick, so they might be talking about that right now. Still 2:44 left. They'll just let it roll. So the ball is at the 47-yard line, 1st down and 10. Tarboro moving from left to right, and from this angle, in this distance, they look exactly like the Minnesota Vikings. Heath passes it down the middle, out of the hands of Derek Black, almost picked off on the play. Back there in coverage was Antonio Borders. If Black would have not touched it, Borders could have an INT.
At that time, Shelby was in a cover 2 defense, actually a zone defense.
10 yards per carry or 99 yards per game. We'll have to see how it all works out at the end of this ball game. 2:37 left to go. Tarboro 1st down, make it 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Handoff to McGuire up the middle, no gain, maybe a loss on the play. The starters back in, and we're back to where we were for most of the ball game.
Got to put the ball in the air. I think you got to option that play off and throw the ball in the air. That handoff to the fullback right now is not going to get you points on the board.
Clock continues to roll. Tomorrow night we will be right back on the air, same time as tonight, 7 o'clock, 7:30 kickoff between Carver and Kings Mountain. Heath back to pass, scrambling, tipped up in the air, maybe caught, incomplete. Derek Black caught it off his shoe tops, and they will say it made contact with the turf. Actually make it Alonzo Exum.
C.J. Petty, the defensive end at time, put great pressure on Travis Heath. He didn't have a chance that time to get a good pass off and was scrambling for his life and just kind of threw the ball up that time. And Alonzo Exum tried to come up with the reception but fell short.
Yards per carry works out to 3.7 per carry for Tarboro. Shelby will finish this ball game up 7.8 yards per carry. Handoff around the end to the wingback, brought down in the backfield, loss of 1 on the play. Tarboro tried to give it to Nate Hall, but once again it was Mario Camp camped out in the backfield.
Mario, who
Super Mario
tonight, exactly. Good answer. Super Mario camping out in their backfield to fit his name tonight, and that's exactly where he was that time to stop Tarboro on 4th down. I still think they should have been airing the ball out, a little short out patterns, move the ball down the field, take advantage of the clock. Didn't happen.
So the 4th down and 2 is for naught, and Shelby will again take over on downs. Under center for Shelby will be Patrick Tiernan. He is a backup quarterback and also a senior, so what a great present for him to get into this ball game here tonight. Tiernan hands off up the middle. On the carry for Shelby, Mario Camp. There you go, he's on both sides of the ball right now. Gains almost 7 or 8 on the play. Good run by Camp. One of the things that I'm seeing for Shelby, Darrell, is a little identity thing for the players on their black pants. Some will have 2 or 3 stripes of tape holding their thigh pads in place. Some will have 1. I think that's kind of a clique, or maybe a club that they belong to on the team.
I think the guys with 2 pieces of tape around their legs are the guys that have bigger thighs, and the guys with the 1 tape was the ones with the little smaller thighs. That's what I'm looking at.
Handoff over the left-hand side. Nick Norris on the carry, all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Kicking, dragging, couple Vikings along for the ride. Hop along, give me a quarter. It's going to be a long night.
It is 1:08, 1:07 as the clock tick-tocks down here in the 4th quarter. I'm extremely excited for Shelby. They came out and played the type of football that I expected them to play, and Tarboro did not play the type of game I was expecting them to play tonight, and turned out to be sort of a rout.
Inside a minute to go, 1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Tiernan hands off to Camp. Camp over the right-hand side, inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
Wouldn't it be something if Mario got a chance to score, as well as the great defensive game that he's played tonight?
He's been everywhere. Really, coming into this ball game, the Monday press conference, as we're inside 28 seconds, Mario Camp was really not the guy we were hearing the most about, and he has really played well tonight. Mike Winhart down on the sidelines.
I'm about to take a Gatorade and water shower. They're trying to dump all the coaches. I've seen 4 tubs go. They're happy down here as the clock clicks under 10.
For the 3rd time in the history of Shelby High School, they will walk away, I should say strut away, with a state championship as it is zeros on the clock. 34-14 is the final.
Wendy's. People, we're casting for the perfect announcer for Wendy's hamburgers.
Wendy's quarter-pound single and half-pound double with cheese are made
Cut like super really fresh when you order.